Paper Mill Playhouse acknowledges that our theater stands on the traditional land of the Lenni Lenape. We honor the land and the indigenous people who inhabited it for thousands of years before European settlers arrived.
Welcome back to Paper Mill Playhouse. We are thrilled to be reopening our doors to our community of friends, old and new, for our 83rd season. I'm Lorna Jordan, Education Outreach Associate here at Paper Mill, and I'm excited to share some insights into our season opener, Songs for a New World by Jason Robert Brown. An apt choice as we find ourselves re-entering our own world anew. So let's get started. The original production of Songs for a New World premiered off-Broadway in 1995. It was directed by Brown's good friend and frequent collaborator, Daisy Prince, whose father, the legendary Broadway director Hal Prince, would go on to stage Brown's first Broadway show, Parade. The original cast featured Brooks Ashmanskas, Andrea Burns, Jessica Molaski, and Billy Porter. Fans of the cast album may be surprised to hear that Porter was in the production. He was reportedly unable to join the original cast recording session due to a contractual issue, so Ty Taylor recorded the whole of Porter's role and became the voice fans have come to associate with the show. Since it first premiered, the show has continued to be produced widely in Australia, the UK, and the US, from amateur theaters to the West End. In fact, in July of 2020, a West End digital production was filmed entirely in isolation. Interwoven between the musical numbers was contemporary news footage used to highlight the emptiness of theaters. This interweaving approach lends itself to the format of Songs for a New World, which is a different kind of musical than we often see. However, it's not a new kind. In fact, it is a return to musical theater's roots. Songs for a New World is what's known as a song cycle, a series of musical numbers that may revolve around a theme, idea, or location, but does not follow a plot as traditional book musicals do. Since the days of Rodgers and Hammerstein, book musicals have long dominated Broadway, but the musical theater genre was born out of revues, song cycles, and vaudevillian traditions made famous by Florin Ziegfeld and his Follies. Just as the influence of the song cycle has been historically neglected, so too have the productions and the performers in them been overshadowed. So, let's check out two shows that deserve a better look. First, As Thousands Cheer. This Irving Berlin show, featuring writing from Moss Hart, combined songs and comical, topical skits pulled from the headlines of the day. It opened in 1933 and ran for 400 performances, a notable feat during the Great Depression. Not only did it defy expectations with its success, but As Thousands Cheer defied the norms of the time by giving equal billing to its star, Ethel Waters, making her the first African American to have equal billing with her white co-stars. The show featured several hits, such as Easter Parade, Harlem on My Mind, and Heat Wave, introduced by Waters and an instant classic. But perhaps the most powerful song was Berlin's iconic Supper Time. It featured Waters as a wife and mother who can no longer set the table for a husband who will not be coming home. It was meant to confront lynching and the racial struggles in America. With this song, Berlin and Waters not only gave us a socially conscious reflection of ourselves, but also a true musical monologue, a story from start to finish. Our second example, and a very different one, is from a very different era. Oh, Calcutta was written by Kenneth Tynan, an English theater critic who was strongly anti-censorship. It opened off-Broadway in 1969 and ran for 1,314 performances. With contributions from writers such as John Lennon, Sam Shepard, and Jules Feiffer, he created an avant-garde erotic revue that again defied musical theater norms. A revival of Oh, Calcutta opened in 1976 on Broadway and ran for 5,959 performances, making it the longest-running revue in Broadway history. Fun fact, revered theater directors Harold Pinter and Peter Brook both declined to direct the original production. Tynan thought they could lend some avant-garde clout to the production, but clearly, he didn't need it. So back to Songs for a New World. As with any song cycle, each number is part of a greater whole. Themes and tropes wind throughout, but the songs also stand on their own as fully formed experiences. More examples of musical monologues, like Berlin's Supper Time. Arguably, Brown's most well-known song, Stars and the Moon, which uplifts themes of choice and consequence, has become a modern classic and musical standard for our top performers of our time. Broadway mainstays Audra McDonald, Sutton Foster, and Shoshana Bean have all featured the song. McDonald included it on her debut album, Way Back to Paradise, as did Sutton Foster on her album, Take Me to the World. After appearing in the 2018 New York City Center's Encore's production of Songs for a New World, Shoshana Bean performed the song in her cabaret act at popular Broadway nightclub 54 Below. In our Paper Mill production, you can look forward to hearing it sung by the one and only Carolee Carmello. So, what is it that makes this song so powerful? What makes it resonate with so many people whose experiences may differ greatly? You'll have to decide for yourself once you hear it. But I will say this. All of the songs in the show grapple with moments of choice. The River Won't Flow questions the idea of luck versus fate. Stars in the Moon looks at our motivations, choices, and consequences. She Cries is about love and its power over us. These three songs follow one after another, and the themes both overlap and deviate, highlighting the commonality of choice in the human experience, and yet the journeys to these choices vary greatly. These moments are extraordinary, but they are existing within ordinary circumstances, ones we all can connect to and share. And now let's talk a little bit about the talented performers who will be taking us along on this journey to a new world. Roman Banks makes his Paper Mill debut having come directly from Broadway's Dear Evan Hansen. After completing his first year of college, studying musical theater at Shenandoah University, he was hired as an understudy for the roles of Jared, Connor, and Evan. He became the first person of color to play the title role. Banks is also a star of Disney's High School Musical, the series, having joined the cast in Season 2 as newcomer, Howie. In March of 2020, Banks dropped his debut album, Days, which features 7 original songs and is streaming on all platforms. Here's another fun fact. In a recent interview, Banks shared that when he was younger, he wanted to be a firefighter, a noble pursuit. But we are thrilled he ended up with us instead. Next, we have Carolee Carmello. Despite, as she herself says, never having had a voice lesson or attended theater school, Carmello has performed in a staggering 16 Broadway shows, which is only a fraction of her prolific career. Most notably, Carmello received Tony and Drama Desk nominations for originating the roles of Lucille Frank in Parade, Gabrielle in Lestat, and Amy Semple McPherson in Scandalous. In Finding Neverland, another performance which earned her a Drama Desk nod, she found herself starring opposite Matthew Morrison and Kelsey Grammer. Carmello also originated the role of Cordelia in Falsettos. Among her many off-Broadway credits, she originated the role of Jen in John and Jen. Carmello has headlined several national tours, most recently playing Dolly Levi in Hello, Dolly. And of course, Paper Mill audiences will remember her for her performances as Anna in The King and I and Pam in Baby. Carmello may also be familiar to you for her many television appearances. She has recently been seen in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Madam Secretary. To see a more complete list of her credits, be sure to check your digital program, accessible through the new Paper Mill app. Andrew Kober is another name Paper Mill audiences will be sure to recognize. Kober has several Broadway credits to his name, including Beautiful, Sunday in the Park with George, She Loves Me, Les Miserables, Hair, and School of Rock, playing the lead role of Dewey Finn, which he took over from his good friend Alex Brightman. Kober has worked with some of the top theater companies in the country, including Roundabout, The Public, MCC, New York Theater Workshop, The Old Globe, Yale Rep, Williamstown, Barrington, and Shakespeare in the Park. Here at Paper Mill, Kober has been seen as Jean-Michel in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, a company member in Unmasked, and most recently as part of the Brookside Cabaret series. Not only is Kober a great friend to Paper Mill, but he is our neighbor as well, residing with his wife and 2 kids in nearby Chatham, New Jersey. You can check out Kober's additional credits in your digital program. Our next performer is Mia Pinero. Pinero was recently seen on Broadway in Ivo Van Hove's West Side Story. Her regional credits include My Fair Lady at Playmakers Repertory Company, In the Heights at Jiva Theater Center, West Side Story at the Guthrie Theater, and Oklahoma at Weston Playhouse. Mia has also performed at Lincoln Center and the Landmark Theater. Pinero was nominated for the Kennedy Center Irene Ryan Award for her role as Lucy Brown in The Three Penny Opera. And we could call her a neighbor as well, seeing as she is a graduate of Montclair State University in musical theater. Dion Simmons Greer has been seen in Theater Aspen's Guys and Dolls and Little Shop of Horrors. He has also performed at Lincoln Center and NJPAC. Greer is truly one of our very own. Not only is he a graduate of Montclair State, but he is a Paper Mill Summer Musical Theater Conservatory alum and a two-time Rising Star nominee for his leading performances as Bobby Child in Crazy for You and Ren McCormick in Footloose at Rahway High School in 2014 and 2015. Greer also performed at the Brookside Cabaret and will soon be seen in this season's Sister Act. Olivia Hernandez holds a BFA from the University of Michigan. Her regional theater credits include Songs for a New World at the Cape Playhouse, Austin's Pride at the Fifth Avenue Theater, Guys and Dolls at the Guthrie, Oklahoma at Tuts, West Side Story at Lamb's Players Theater, and Mary Poppins at Encore Musical Theater Company. Olivia was a grand prize finalist at the Los Angeles Music Center Spotlight Awards. And finally, let's take a look at the creative artists and designers who put the show together. Our director, Mark S. Hobie, joined Paper Mill Playhouse in 2000 and became producing artistic director in 2006. Under his direction, our organization won the 2016 Regional Theater Tony Award. On Broadway, Mr. Hobie directed The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and here at Paper Mill, he most recently directed Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and Mary Poppins, among many others. Prior to his work as a director and choreographer, Mr. Hobie was a Broadway performer with several credits, most notably Jerome Robbins' Broadway. Jason Robert Brown is the composer and lyricist for Songs for a New World. A lot of you will remember that Brown debuted his Broadway-bound show, Honeymoon in Vegas, right here at Paper Mill. His other scores include Parade, for which he earned the Tony Award for Best Score, 13, The Bridges of Madison County, for which he won the Tony for Best Score and Orchestrations, The Last 5 Years, again directed by friend Daisy Prince, Songs for a New World, and Urban Cowboy. Brown's albums include Wearing Someone Else's Clothes and How We Recover. He is currently working on a musical version of Mr. Saturday Night with legendary actor and comedian Billy Crystal. Brown began his career in New York City, playing in clubs and piano bars while working as an arranger, pianist, and conductor on shows such as William Finn's A New Brain. Brown is married to composer and lyricist Georgia Stitt. Stitt is the music supervisor for our production. Her work in TV, film, and theater includes such projects as The Sound of Music Live, the film version of The Last 5 Years featuring Jeremy Jordan and Anna Kendrick, Sweet Charity, Parade, and Netflix's 13 the Musical. In addition to her work as a composer and lyricist, Stitt's career includes advocacy and activism. She is the founder and president of Maestra Music, an organization aimed to give support, visibility, and community to the women who make music in the musical theater industry. She also holds leadership positions with the Dramatists Guild, the Recording Academy, Muse, Musicians United for Social Equity, and is a Princeton University faculty member. Kenny Ingram serves as choreographer for Songs for a New World. His choreography has been seen off-Broadway in Turtle on a Fence Post and Emojiland, for which he won the Best of Fest Award for Outstanding Choreography at the New York Musical Theater Festival. His recent regional work includes Jersey Boys at Maine State Music Theater, and this winter, his work can be seen in Blues in the Night at Porchlight Theater. Ingram was a part of the company of Broadway's The Lion King for 10 years. He has also worked with the Marriott Theater on several shows, both as a performer and choreographer, where he was awarded the Jeff Award for his choreography for 42nd Street and the Black Theater Alliance Award for his choreography for Dreamgirls. And Dreamgirls just happens to be a show that he and Mr. Hobie collaborated on here at Paper Mill back in 1995. And that's just a little bit of a closer look at this season's opener. If you haven't already, don't forget to check out the Paper Mill app for more highlights and information. And if you missed any of this video, it is available on the app at any time. We are so thrilled to see you back here again and can't wait to spend this new and long-awaited season with you.